We got the EMAX Tinyhawk Freestyle. Great little beginner kit. Let's get straight into it. So this Tinyhawk kit is a ready to go kit out of the box, fully configured. Let's get this open. It comes fully prepped from factory. Should just be able to hit a button and good to go. There we go, don't need that. There we go. So inside we've got some spare props and looks like a flight controller connector. Got a couple batteries on each side. Comes with two 1S batteries. These batteries are designed to go together to get 2S. We've got the drone over here, which we'll look at in a minute. Controller, remove this. Controller here. And the goggles. Some instruction manuals. And some spare screws, charger, and tools. So let's start opening up the peripherals. We've got the goggles over here. So this is an analog kit. This is a good pair of analog goggles, which the main convenience part of this is that you can detach the screen from the goggles and you can have the screen independent. So should you want to upgrade down the road, you can get a better set of goggles and use this as a screen for either flying from or getting someone else to look at. Pretty neat. This has also got USB-C charging, which is great. No more micro USB ports. Got your buttons to configure. You got your power button, you got your automatic scanning and your SD card so you can record DVR straight from here. Got your little diopters and all in here, and that just goes straight on there. That's the goggles there. Other bag, we got the controller. Little protectors. Here's the controller. It is a ELRS controller that is mode 2. Pretty standard controller, already configured. You can see that they have given us some stickers telling us what each switch position and what each switch is. So we got our arm and disarmed here. We got our beginner, intermediate, and expert mode, which would be angle mode, horizon mode, and acro. So you can start moving the different modes depending on your skill level and what you want to try out. We got a flip over after crash mode, also known as total mode. If you crash upside down, you can use that mode to flip you back over. And we've got our beeper mode. So you can flick the switch, the motors will start beeping and you can find it. We've got our little trim buttons, which for an FPV drone, we don't really use. Power button, USB-C, which again is great to see. It is ELRS, so is the drone. So should you want to upgrade the controller with a Ready Master Pocket or a TX15 or anything like that, you can still use this drone, which is great. All right, let's get onto the drone. This is the main part of this kit. This is a 2.5-inch drone. So we've got the 2.5-inch props in here as well. We've got some 1225 motors at 7,000 kVs. So it's not going to be overly aggressive, but it's going to be enough to start learning on, which is great. You can always upgrade the motors down the road, but this will be a great platform to start off with some pretty aggressive propellers, which is nice. So it'll be a pretty rapid drone. They do use two 1S batteries, so that's how they can get the cost down a bit as well. It is a bit harder to maintain 1S batteries, especially with chargers like these where they just go straight to full charge. Getting a charger like the Whoop Store from VFly will be a good charger, so then you can go fully dead, storage, and fully charge. And if you have HV batteries as well, you can go to HV as well. This is just a pretty standard charger, just so anyone can get into it. Just plug it into a USB-A port and you'll have the batteries charging. You can charge 6 at once, it looks like, which is great. We've got a 5 amp F411 flight controller. So it's an all-in-one altogether, and we've got a 400 milliwatt VTX. So 400 milliwatts is a good middle ground, especially for this size drone. By the time you want to get far out, you're probably going to lose your battery in terms of battery life. This is a very well thought out drone. Nothing is overpowered or limiting you in any way. We've got an analog camera here, which is a Runcam Nano 6 camera. Pretty solid camera, especially for this size. We're gonna have good enough video, especially with analog. And we've got a little whip antenna here, which is protected in a plastic casing, which is pretty great. Capacitor on there, pretty well packaged. Soldering is nice and neat. Pretty good drone to start bashing around. This whole frame is made of carbon fiber. The bottom plate, top plate, and the camera plates are TPU, which is just going to provide a bit of vibration dampening. I've got a caliper here. These carbon plates are 2 mil. For this size of drone, you're not carrying too much weight and speed. 2 mil is plenty fine. On the top here, we can see there's a plug, which would be for this connector inside the bag. And it comes with, again, USB-C. Great to see. You can plug it in and plug it into the flight controller. As you get a bit more comfortable with beta flight, which is what this runs, you can start messing with the settings and changing the switches and trying out different things. Great little platform to learn on. EMAX does publish all of their diff files and all their setups in here, so you can update this to the latest version, grab the file from their website and put it back on. But before you do anything, it's always great to save the file before you do any updates or messing with the flight controller. Now let's get this all set up and see how it all works. We'll just take the screen off the goggles just so you guys can get a better view. We'll take these little rubber protectors off and this paper. Over here. So this monitor does have an inbuilt battery, which is great. Charging it from USB-C is always convenient. You can always plug it into a power bank or whatnot. We've got our little LEDs up here letting us know what channel and frequency we're on. That'll also probably be on the screen. In this little bag, we have some antennas. Comes with some manuals and some stickers, which is cool. We've got some standard SMA antennas on here, so you can always upgrade these. Upgrading the antennas on the goggles and the drone with this one uses a UFL connector. You can squeeze out a little bit more range. These are linear, so they're not left or right hand. Choosing maybe a left hand or a right hand setup. Say you want to go with left hand, get left hand on here, left hand on there, good to go. Just make sure you get the right one. So these are SMA and that is UFL. So we can screw them on. You don't want to use any tools because you can break them. Just nice and hand tight is good. All right, now that our antennas are on, just plugging in a cable so it can start charging. You see that there's a indicator there for its battery level. So it looks like it's still charging. Let's hold the power button. There we go, get the EMAX logo and we can see the static. So it's looking for and searching for channels. Let's power on the controller. So there is a little tab here that says remove this before use. That's just for the battery in there. So it does come with pretty much everything you need. The built-in battery there, the 2 batteries for the drone and the battery inside. We'll just pull this out. We'll just remove that sticker. There we go, so you can pull this out. There we go. The battery in place. And now we should be able to just hold the button. There we go. So we can see that the controller is now searching for the drone. We'll make sure all of our switches are away from us. So all down and all up, and the throttle is all the way down. And then we can plug our batteries in, open up the battery strap. We get a nice little rubber pad there. So our batteries are not going to dig into any screws, although they're all countersunk, so that's good. But it will give it a bit more rubber grip, which is great. So we'll pop on our 2 batteries. We like to keep it nice and center so we can have a drone that's not too front or back heavy. Put the strap in. There we go. And then we can plug in 1 battery at a time. Just making sure that there is a little line that lines up inside the connector. Pops in. It's battery number 1. And when we plug in the second battery, we'll hear everything boot up. Plug in the second battery. There we go. We got the Betaflight logo. Let's remove the cap. There we go. So now we can actually see the little camera up there. Get a picture-in-picture view. It's cool. Now we can test our controller. I haven't done anything out of the box. I've just turned everything on and we can see that we've got video. I can click the beeper switch. And the beep is working. So everything is all ready to go. We can test arm, making sure everything works. Throttle down and flick the disarm switch all the way down. And there we go. So we can see that it said armed. We can see all of our modes that we're in, our battery voltage, timer. All of this is on the screen. We can see the name, which is all customizable in Betaflight, which is great. So if you don't like everything all on the bottom, you like some additional information, you can plug it into Betaflight and just change everything in the OST tab. So we can confirm here that this is all spinning props in. So you would install your props onto the drone in the configuration of props in. So going inwards to the frame. So they would all spin inwards here and on inwards here. All right, so all of this, all the props, spare props, all the connectors and the full configuration that you got here in analog goes for about $592 on our website. We do ship internationally. We ship all over the world. Just put it onto add to cart, go to checkout and put your address in and it'll all get sent to you. This kit for that price, pretty good. You're not going to be able to get a 5-inch. You might just be able to build a 5-inch in that cost. But being able to get a controller, goggles, drone for the cost, it's pretty good. You can learn, you can crash, and parts are readily available, which is great. Plug in everything, flick a switch, and you're in the air. It's pretty good. If you have any questions, shoot us an email. We're always here to help. We'll see you in the next one.